So today, we thought we'd show y'all a video of this because I ain't worked on one of these before. I don't know how this will go, but if y'all are seeing the video, it went good.
Yeah, if I post a video, that means the truck drove good after we
It's a
messed with
6080
this.
out of a 2013 Yukon. Came in, he was having some slipping issues. Actually, on the way over here, it quit completely, and he had to have it towed the rest of the way. Party took the magnet out, but you can see all the metal.
Yeah, that it's supposed to be silver like this, not black.
It's supposed to have red fluid in it.
Yeah, not black. And this, I'm gonna tell you what, this fluid stinks bad.
So, we're going to tear this apart, see if we can't find out the problem.
This transmission has been abused very horribly.
It's almost like we drove it.
No, it's worse than that.
If any of y'all ever have to work on one of these, you're going to have a, to get the valve body off, it's going to be a special socket. There's going to be 6 of them. And it's a E.
See the head right there? It's kind of weird
it's
looking.
An E12. Fits it perfect. The
That's the name of the socket, E12.
yeah. And then this will actually pull out this plug with a little bit of persuasion. But we're going to start tearing this thing apart, I guess. Let me get this thing flipped over.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. And the pan is going with me. There we go. Ooh. This, once you pull this up, this should just pop right out. It's like a just a piece in there that holds it onto the valve body. I've worked on that part before. I don't really remember. It's been a long time when I swapped in a 6080 into my 03 Sierra. And now this valve body is actually like an encased design. The 4060, when you take the valve body off the check balls and everything, you can see all the passages. This is not like that. It is just, it comes off in one piece, and then you take it apart away from the transmission.
Which I think is better.
Oh yeah. Like I said, this is the first time I've worked on one of these, actually really bit into one. So, the negative comments, you can keep it in your head.
No, you can comment those. Those are funny too.
Yeah, they are funny. Oh, the 4060 comments was... Whew.
It's funny because that transmission worked fine after that.
Yeah, it did.
Still going today.
Let's see, where's the screwdriver?
This one's a little different than the one you put in your 03 Sierra, ain't it?
No, it's the exact same gear and everything.
I don't remember that valve body looking like that.
See? Just pops right out. And then the valve body should just come right off.
And now this is nothing.
If you
let all the smell out when you did that.
look on this valve body,
Hold on, let's look in here. It's kind of cool looking.
here's a seal actually. This will come with the new kit.
Well,
You're gonna, if you look over here, you got more seals in the valve body. When I did my 6080 in my truck, I bought the transmission from somebody and it was missing this seal, but it had this one.
and it won't shift, I guess, with those.
Well, it had first, second, and third, but it wouldn't hit fourth, fifth, or sixth. I'm not going to pretend to know which one which, but I assume this one's 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Without that, it did not go into those.
Yeah. And then when I put it back together, it was actually the wrong valve body, and it had the raised pedestal right here for the speed sensor. And I guess that was in a van or something. Well, I put it back in there, and it just chopped that speed sensor off there, and then it was in limp mode ever since. So, sold it. Now let's get this converter out of this. No, she's still heavy.
That's full, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Where you going with that now? You just taking the converter out?
Yeah. What?
It's time to drain that for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully this thing lightens up a little bit once we get this converter out.
You got some transmission fluid coming out of the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Golly, how much is in there?
Well, we're going to get it up on the table. I want to heat up a little bit for that, so we're going to come right back once we get it on the table. Okay, we trained a couple muscles, but we got it up on the table.
This thing weighs as much as a semi.
We're going to pull the bell housing off. The bell housing and the pump is all one piece on these. And then after that, we'll have different clutch packs, different planetaries, so on and so forth.
I'm ready to see that bell housing come off. I've never seen that stuff. You notice what kind of bolts they use on this one?
310
Yeah. What was on the other thing? 4L60.
Oh, some junk.
Yeah, you're gonna break all your tools when I get those out.
Okay. Let's get this thing over to the edge. Yep.
And hope it don't land on your foot. And make a giant mess. Stinky mess. Yeah, you see the color of that fluid?
Yeah, that is
black.
some tar.
And it stinks like tar too.
Okay, there's a little snap ring on here. You're gonna want to pull that off.
Did you run out of oil dry?
No, I still got a little bit. I'll worry about that later.
Well, what's cool about transmission fluid is that'll be the size of that little spill right there will be the size of this truck later. Did the kit come with that?
Yeah.
I would have broke it then.
They're tougher than you think.
Nail nose? You can't break that?
Let's see, now this should just slide right off her.
Oh, everything comes with it?
No, it's gonna put a planetary with it.
Oh.
Now here's the pump and the bell housing.
It's pretty wild.
Yep.
It's just one piece.
There's no point in this stuff. Got room for all this. Then we're gonna have a planetary. Then I think this one has like a little snap. No, it comes off.
And it's gutted.
Oh yeah. Then we're gonna have a snap ring right here. From what I've looked up, you need some beefy snap ring pliers to get that out of there. And if you don't use it, you could get hurt. So
Yeah, I might have a cool video.
We're gonna see if I can't keep myself from getting hurt.
We might have a pretty cool video.
It's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah, look at all that coming out of there. That's some good stuff. How many miles did this have on it? 130,000?
Something like that. Had some hard miles, you can tell.
Yeah, he actually said that too. Usually these don't break.
This absolutely has nothing to do with why this transmission bad, but it was a woman driver. And that is in no way a generalization about women.
The pump on the bell housing's pretty cool.
Yeah. Only bad thing is, if you have to buy a new one of those, I bet it's expensive.
Is it literally all one piece or does it come apart?
No, I mean, it'll come apart right here. And then you remember the 4060 pumps? How it has a stator in the middle? It'll have the same thing in the middle, but it just uses the bell housing as one of the halves.
Neat.
Less pieces to manufacture.
Did he get a new pump?
No. We're gonna go into that one and see if he has to. This is gonna be...
So I'm gonna stay back here.
Yeah. This is gonna be a pain. Once we get that other snap ring out, we get that set of clutches out, and the back half of it should come out with a little persuasion.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stop this. I'm gonna stop the video until you get that out, because I think that's gonna be a minute.
You might want to come back in the middle of it, but yeah. Okay, so it's been about 45 seconds. Literally all I did was take one of these big screwdrivers and wedge it up in this hook right here, just like this, and I just pried it out, just like this.
Is that under some pressure right now?
Oh yeah. And then I'm just gonna work my way around. I can't. Oh, I can't even pull it out.
That thing ain't a joke.
So I'm gonna work my way around up here.
I'm gonna have to stay back here for this one. When that comes out, I'll get back up there though.
What it is I'm getting a little jammed because it's so sideways. It's getting jammed up right here. If I had some snap ring pliers, I could just squeeze the two and pull it right out, but I don't have any that are that big. It's bad.
Should I come back after you get that out?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
This thing's it'll take some persuasion if y'all ever get to this. It will.
It's stout.
Just be careful.
Yeah, because that's gonna come flying out of there. I feel like.
It's a big old sniper ring. It's very big. So the heat is on right now, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit louder. I worked its way around. I got it out to right here, and all it has is that little bit of space left. I wanted to come back just in case this thing did come out of there and it did hurt me. At least y'all know what to look out for. But I'm just gonna go in there and do it. Thick too.
Yeah.
About let's say 3/16. Clutch pack. Oh, another sniper ring.
Yay. Little one.
Yeah.
That one's really easy to get out.
Clutch pack. And then this piece has another sniper ring. I'm gonna need a little bit. No, maybe not. Here we go.
That
It's just tucked in this inside edge. Here, go ahead and put the camera where you can see in there. See this snap ring right here? And then right here's the other side of it. Once you get the side out with the screwdriver, you just grab it and twist it out. Spacer. And then this one up here, take a little persuasion from the top. Oh!
tap on the bottom.
Just a little wiggling, you should be able to get this one out.
It's gotta come perfectly out or it'll get wedged.
And then looks like there's only one more, and that's just a planetary.
You know what's weird?
What?
I think this transmission comes apart easier than a 4L60.
I think it does too.
That's the whole thing, ain't it?
Yep, that's it.
The whole thing's apart.
That's a beefy planetary, let me tell you.
Crazy looking in there.
Yeah, that piece, that's a bearing in there, it just fell down a little bit. Now,
I didn't see.
we got an empty casing.
Yeah, nasty. On the floor?
Like that.
What is that?
It's a paper towel, just to keep it from leaking.
Oh, you put that in there?
Yeah.
I was about to say I know from the factory that.
No, man, that's factory. It's that factory paper towel that goes where your drop shaft goes.
You gonna tear it apart now?
See, there's 2 clutch packs in there. You'll pull those snap rings out, same way I showed you. You can see the end of it. Just put a little screwdriver down in there, pop it out, and just twist it around. You'll probably have multiple snap rings through there. This one, you're gonna have a planetary on one side, and then on the other side, you're gonna have a snap ring and more clutches. This one, it doesn't look like there's any clutches in this one. No, there isn't. There's gonna be a bearing at the bottom of that. Watch out for that.
Yeah, watch out, it'll come out there and get you. Is that heavy?
No, I was just trying to see if there's clutches in there. Looks like it may just be a piston. No, there's clutches. Trying to figure out how they come out. Looks like they just pop out.
Eee.
Yep. Looks like it came out. Maybe not. I'll have to do a little bit of research, see how I get that one out. There. Maybe, well, maybe not. There we go.
Did that just have to line up or something to come out?
No, it just, I broke it loose with my hands. Oh, it doesn't look like it comes out this way. Yep, I'm an idiot. You go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm an idiot.
Well, you did say it was your first one.
Yeah. This bottom, this gear will end up, it'll either come out of there or the clutches will come out from inside of there.
And if this video is posted, that means the vehicle drove and shifted good.
Yeah. So in other words, you guys will probably never see this video.
Yeah, I'll probably still post it if it don't shift good.
Looks like there's just 2 planetaries in there. I say 2 planetaries because if you look in there, you see these gears. When you twist it, one spins one way and one spins the other way.
I'm dizzy now. Crazy how fast that actually goes.
Yeah. So, guess we start taking clutches out and see if we can find exactly which clutches it was.
Because it was for sure clutches. That thing, not good.
Well,
You doing that right now?
yeah, I'll go ahead and pop a couple of them out. The clutches were for sure bad. I'm thinking either, I haven't heard of too many of these that the clutches just went bad. So it's either probably a solenoid that's not working in the valve body, or the pump give out a little bit, or the torque converter went out. I don't know which one yet. We're gonna find out. It's getting a new torque converter anyway, because that's just the smartest thing to do if you're rebuilding the transmission. These clutches look perfect. Got another snap ring in here.
Snap rings everywhere.
Okay. If you don't like snap rings, take it to a mechanic, because there's a lot. These clutches are fine. I remember which way it comes off. Ooh, we found the problem.
Let me see.
These are burnt.
Yeah, look at that.
Ooh, look at this one. This one's a clutch.
It was.
That one's gone. This one's most of the way gone. Yep, here's one of the problems. Now we have to find out if it was this piston that's in here. It actually doesn't look like the piston has any problems. Or if it was some other reason why. Now we know if the pump was bad, it wouldn't have been just one set of clutches. It probably would have been most of them.
So it's safe to assume the pump's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it should probably be checked, because we don't want it to go out and, 50,000 miles just out of coincidence that it was going bad anyway. These clutches look fine from what I've seen already. Yeah, these are fine. And then we got the planetary. So everything's tore apart. I'm not even gonna pretend to know what gear that is, but that's the one that's the problem. Honestly, I don't know.
That's crazy how it can make it act like that. You remember test driving it?
Yeah.
It was flashing up 2,000 RPMs between every shift.
That could have been the converter too. Because honestly, there was a lot of metal for it to just come from this one clutch pack.
I don't know.
So the converter might have tore out that clutch pack, or vice versa.
Good thing's getting replaced. So we'll have to come back later on?
Yep, we're going to come back. It's about quitting time today. We're going to let those clutches that are going in the transmission, we're going to let them soak overnight.
Let them soak in some fluid overnight.
We're going to probably go buy some starter fluid or carb cleaner or something and get this pan cleaned up.
Yeah, because that's bad.
Probably take that housing behind you, the case, probably take it to a car wash, get it cleaned off real good.
Something. But yeah.
But now y'all know how to tear one apart. I don't know if we're gonna put the put together video in the same video, or if we're gonna just go ahead and post this one, but I guess we'll find out. So we're back. It's the next day.
We didn't really go anywhere. It was 2 seconds for y'all.
Oh yeah.
But it's been like 20 hours.
Instantaneous. I guess we're gonna start putting this back together. We're gonna put new clutch packs in, and then attempt to put it back together the first time. Hopefully we don't forget anything.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time. Remember, be sure to leave in the comments how dumb he is.
The core of the transmission is what we're gonna work on. The valve body, I'm not even. I mean, there was no problem with the valve body. I'm not even gonna go through that. Most of the time, it wouldn't have the problem anyway. So we're going. I guess we'll get started.
We actually brought an expert in today.
Oh yeah, she's the expert.
She's cold.
This main drum right here, you're gonna have a shim in there first. I'll get the damn thing out.
Hey, no profane language.
I'm sorry, boss. And then you're going to start with your metal spacers. And then we got to find the right clutches that go in it.
Glad I'm not touching that. How do you know?
It'll be the ones that match these, which means it's not those.
So how do they match them?
It's the same size.
You gotta explain all this. Are you sure it's the same size?
Yes.
That is right there.
Yep. See? It's perfect. And then just alternate like you would any other clutch.
Say this is someone's first time, they've never done this.
Metal, clutch, metal, clutch. Until you run out. No, the clutch is usually like a carbon or a Kevlar or something along those lines. Some kind of friction material that makes it grab.
I don't know why I actually don't know the expert.
Huh?
I'm the expert.
Yeah, she's the expert. Why are you telling her? She knows. She's laughing at you. You're doing it wrong.
That's not the way to do it, you damn idiot. I feel like I have too many clutches.
Too many?
No,
No such thing.
No, we're right. It's good. Let me grab your Joe. Then you're going to have this thick piece, and then you're going to be putting the snap ring back in. Snap ring,
Fun day.
you can just twist it in, just like so. And then just push it down.
Is that snapped in?
Not yet. Oh, there we go.
Whoa.
It's looking like this one's gonna be a little bit tight, a little bit too much clearance. Ooh. She's not wanting to cooperate. What happens with them clutches?
You soaked them too much, now they're fat.
Well, when you soak them in fluid, they do swell. We'll have to check the clearance on this to make sure that it's still going to have the necessary play. What? Car work is science. What are you talking about? It's all that starter fluid.
You gonna be able to get that in there?
I can't even grip the screwdriver. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I did everything right, but
I'm gonna stop this till you figure that out.
this clutch pack probably has a little bit too much thickness to it. So we're gonna have to switch a couple of the clutch packs out, try to get the thickness right.
And we'll be back when you do that.
Yeah.
How'd you get that in there?
I took it back apart, checked all the clearances. It was actually one piece, one clutch or one metal piece too thick. There would have been no way it would have went in. Now it has the right clearance. You check your clearance right here, in between this metal plate and the snap ring. You can get your clearances from like a GM website or I think even like a Haynes manual will probably have it. Then you're going to put this piece in. Ooh, if I can get it in there. Yeah, it may go the other way. I don't even know. I don't even remember.
The thing you got the expert here.
Hey, how does this go in there?
Hey, expert. Need your help.
I'm not on call right now.
I wonder if you got the snapping out first. Really not. I don't remember that.
Back out.
Easy though now. Yeah, she sure ain't wanting to go in. There ain't no way it could go like that. So it has to go in there. Oh, I see what the problem was.
Let's hear it.
The very first one of these that I put in, of the metal plates, is just slightly off, just one tooth. So that means that that won't go all the way in.
Makes sense. So don't have those slightly off one tooth or that won't go in.
Yeah. See? So now this one. Just like that. Actually, this. Get another clutch material in there. Let's just leave this one out. Now, we hope the sapling will go in. There we go. It's actually too much clearance this time, so we're going to have to switch that back out again. There's a lot of this. When you're putting these back together, you want to make sure that clearance is right, or you're going to have problems down the road.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop this until you get the clearance right then.
I got it right.
Right there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can't even get the tip of the screwdriver in there. And it's not even all the way in yet. Like I said, y'all gonna have to work with me a little bit. It's the first time I've done this. One of these slots in here, it's this one right here, does not have an indentation for the snap ring.
That's where the mouth of the snap ring goes.
Yeah. You have to put one on one side, and then one on on the other. And then there you go. Perfect.
They don't want the snap ring spinning in there or something?
I guess.
There that is.
If you keep everything, all your clutches lined up really good and clean in there, this will go in a lot easier. If not, you just use those paddles that are on the end to kind of fish the clutches over and then push it in. This is a shim plate. Grab the other clutches. Yep.
What happened to that?
You just press together.
Dang.
Yeah, they're on there. Oh, man. This is just a technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay, we got them all unstuck.
They really stick.
Yeah, they really stick to each other. All you got to do is just go through with a. It has like a packing oil on it. Go through with a screwdriver. Or
Packing
flathead.
glue.
Yeah. And just knock it off there. Huh? What's wrong ones anyway?
So this was the only one that had burnt clutches?
No, this one didn't even have burnt clutches. It was this one.
Oh. No, yeah, that's right. Why is that discolored like that? Did it get that hot?
Yeah.
Golly.
It's slipping that much.
Look, none of the rest of them are like
It would
that.
have gotten that hot.
Nothing else is like that except that.
Kind of makes me
Dude,
think it might need a new part there.
that's hot. To be doing that to that metal like that?
Okay.
We told them yesterday what this transmission was doing. Slipping every year, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh.
That's almost perfect.
If you're ever confused about you getting mixed up or something, just go through and count your clutches that came out. There's only 4 that came out. And there are 4 that went in. So you know you're good to go.
So basically, what all you're doing here is a clutch replacement on all of them.
Yeah. Now this one, the gap is rather large. So we're going to go back there and we're going to see if we can tighten it up a little bit.
And how will you do that?
They sell different size shims. A lot of your bigger shops is going to have those. Me, what I'll do is I'll go through and just put in if it needs to go down a little bit, I'll put it in an older clutch. It's still good, you know, like these are still good clutches. They're going to be a little bit thinner than the new ones. Just putting one of these in there just to get your clearance right is going to help you more than just having all new clutches.
Because it'll slip and ruin those.
Yeah. But the right way is to get, well, not that piece, a new one of these spacer plates. And you're going to want to put a clutch against a spacer plate. It's thin and ain't going to be able to handle the heat. Our kit actually came with a 5th clutch. There's nowhere to put it. Let's try adding not as thick clutch in there. Even if it is clutch on clutch, they're never going to rub on each other because the spawns lock them in. It's not going to wear them out faster. We're just trying to get the spacing right. That looks like it's going to be a little bit too thick.
This one come out at you.
Yeah, this one's probably going to be too thick. No, it actually went in.
It actually went in very snug. Very snug.
Yeah, this one's too thick.
Too snug?
You get this in there and you can't move these clutches around, it's too tight. Well, hello there. Basically, at this point, you just play around with clutches, see if you can move some back and forth. Get it a little bit thinner. Just something. That way you get the right clearance. That's very important to get the right clearance. This one's probably going to be too tight also. It also has a ring right here. One of the special spots where the opening in the snap ring has to go to.
I was going to say that had that. Had that. So watch out for these. You might think your snap ring's not going in, but it's actually just that piece where the mouth has to meet. Now try them clutches. Okay, move.
They move.
I think that's good.
They're pretty tight. It's borderline. Now, depending on whether or not I can find something that gets it shimmed right, it could end up being a if you don't have anything to shim it right, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set it just a little bit tight. That way It may wear the clutches out a little bit, but it's going to wear it out to the point where they need to be, and then they're going to stay there.
Too loose, they'll slip all the time.
Yeah.
And it'll end up like that. All burn up. That got really hot. Golly, look what that did to the inside of that.
I don't know what we can do.
Should I stop this while you figure that out?
I would show them. Like that. Pick that piece up again. We're going to take this shim out.
You think that's going to be enough now?
Well, that shim...
That's really thin.
That shim's a little warped. So I'm hoping that shim being warped like it is
that might be why.
Is going to give us enough room for another steel in here. The kit we got didn't come with another steel. Just take one of the old ones as long as it's not burnt. And this was going to be too much, looks like. Yep.
If you can eyeball it and see that that was too much, then dang.
This one looks perfect.
Let's
Shim
hope.
out with an extra steel.
Not good.
It's really close. This looks like about the closest as we're going to get it without ordering a custom shim. The customer wants their truck back very soon, so we don't have time for that. So this is going to be more than likely within tolerance. I'll go ahead and grab my feeler gauge and make sure here in a little bit. But I mean, it just barely moves. Now we're going to go on to the next clutch pack.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah. Let me get over here. Switch your spots.
Look in there at the inside of that.
Yeah, it's burnt.
Think it got hot a little bit? Whoa.
You okay?
You think that got a little hot?
Yeah, just a little bit. Now, if you're ever confused about what goes first, you just look back at it. Usually the thick one is going to be the outside. On the inside,
Look at that.
like
Look what's coming off onto your hand.
yeah, it's burnt. It's going to start with a shim. So go ahead and put that in there. More than likely, it's going to be burnt and warped. We're going to have to do some
Yeah, because that one's fried.
fiddling around with this one too to make sure.
So whatever that is, what is that? What does that do?
I have no idea.
Well, it has something to do with every gear.
It's a clutch pack.
It has something to do with every gear. Remember how many? All the gears were slipping.
Yeah.
They all flashed.
That could have been torque converter flash, but he's getting a new torque converter, so. So then now we're going to start steel, then clutch, steel, clutch, all the way out to the top.
Look how little those are.
Ooh. A lot of clutch packs in this thing. Oh, come on. Auto's on right here.
Your shipping glue.
Yeah, they want to make sure they don't get separated.
Could that have damaged this, being that hot, eventually? Or
This, yeah, it could have.
I figure it could probably warp that or something.
Yeah, but more than likely this one's fine.
I'm saying it could.
Yeah,
So they might need to
there's
look at that.
There's no like physical damage to this one.
It was real close to it.
It got hot, but there's no actual damage to it.
Another one?
Yep. Another one. Come on. I should really go through and put little indentions in between these. So you could just stick a screwdriver in there and... But...
I don't think they meant to pack it with glue.
They might have. They do some stupid stuff. Looks like this one's going to have too many clutch packs.
That's not going to happen.
No, see, we're already above where the snap ring should be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's go back through this one.
Yeah, there's nothing in there good.
One. The shim at the bottom, obviously. Five, six. Looking like there's 6 clutches in that one. There's 7 in this one. So there's our problem. Even that's going to be a little bit too tight, looks like. Now this may be for different models or something. That might be why they include the extra. Probably for 6L90.
Probably some kind of universal kit.
Well, it's probably for a 6L80 or 6L90. That's probably why we're having so much trouble and having leftover parts. But, don't know for sure. Always got to check it. Just make sure your clearances are right. Can't say it enough. You always make sure your clearances are right. Let's try this little snap ring. Doesn't look like this one has a special one.
A special groove where the mouth goes.
Yep. It doesn't. Oh, clearance on this one's almost perfect.
That's pretty neat. It worked out pretty good. Okay.
Definitely within tolerance. Now I got the big one. Then I think we're done, actually, with clutches.
Which was all this needed.
I feel like there's one set I'm missing. I'll find it somewhere. Okay, got a spacer plate. It's warped, I can already tell you that. And then it's going to start steel, clutch, all the way to the top piece. There's going to be 5 clutches in there.
That transmission destroyed this table.
Yeah.
It was clean.
Okay, yeah. The other set of clutches that I was talking about, it's actually inside of the transmission, inside the casing. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't double stack steels. And we go to, just like we always have done, steel clutch, steel clutch. I wish somehow they could design a transmission that does every set of clutches is like this, where it just slides over the splines and it eases. Make it very user friendly to rebuild. Instead of like this one, I'm going to have to slide it onto this somehow while wiggling it around to make sure it gets all the splines in. That one's too much. That last one. That actually should be perfect.
If they squeeze down a little bit, it'll be perfect. Did it go?
Yep.
Can you turn it?
Ain't really no way to test on this one. So you just gotta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of movement, so we're good on this one.
What did you do? On this?
Yeah, there's a bearing that runs there. This one.
Now what?
Now, actually thinking about this, probably the best way to do this one would be to have all the clutches out. This one's going to go in here.
Yeah. Look, it got hot too. You see how that goes right in there like this. Is that how it goes?
Well, didn't lose any bearings or anything. Just like that.
It's a little funny looking. And now we take a 2-second break.
Yep, now we take a 2-second break. Okay, so we're going to finish up this last clutch pack, and then I'm going to go through and show you how to put the center piece together. I had to figure it out off camera so I didn't look like an idiot. What we're going to do on this is going to be the first one is going to be this little bent warp plate in there. It's going to sit in there.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yep. Then there's going to be a shim plate. Then it's going to be a steel. Our steels are right here. Now steel, clutch, all the way up. Looking like it's going to have a problem with some clearance on this one as well. Yeah, it probably added just one too many clutches in on this one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they give us an extra set of extra clutch and extra steel on this one also.
Tree it.
Where is the snack thing?
Is it over there?
I think it's that one.
Which one?
The big one. Anyway. Yeah, there's no extra snap bands in here. Or snap rings. Just making sure I don't forget one. Yeah, no, that's not the way it goes. It almost ain't wanting to fit down in there. Anyway, we're gonna come right back once I figure this out. I'll show you how to put this together. Okay, so good timing. You put this little piece in there. It's kind of warped. It looks like it's warped. It's not. It's made that way. It's supposed to be spring loaded. You put it in there with the tips facing down, and then what you're gonna do with the snap ring, what I did with it, I went around with one screwdriver and I pushed down on the snap ring, and with the other screwdriver twisted it into the slot. It's going to be spring loaded, so you're going to have to work your way around on it. Once you get to that point, then you can put your clutch back in, and it just goes in just like
the rest of them.
Every other clutch back we've done. Hopefully you get good clearance at the end. It looks like this one's going to be perfect. Yeah. It's a little on the loose side. Just barely though. But there would be no way to really take care of that. These have quite a bit of travel to begin with, so even if they are a little bit on the loose side, I mean, this is a factory rebuild kit. They take into account all the clearances.
Once it gets fluid going through it and everything, and in there it'll.
Yeah, but if you have a way to fix the clearances, definitely fix it. Make it if it's like this is very borderline. It'll probably be okay. More than likely, it will be okay, but it could be a little bit tighter. Like it moves in there fairly easy.
Line those up as good as you can.
Yeah. It'll be a pain. Okay, on this one, what I did. I have a hole in my table, for anyone who doesn't know, just for transmission build. What you're going to do, first you're going to put this bushing on there, just like so. Then you're going to put this planetary in. Just like that. This spline is actually going to go onto the pump. You can see it over there. The pump will slide right into there. Well, actually, it can't slide right in there if it's got that bushing in there. Make sure you're real careful with where you get your bushings placed. Yeah, that's where that bushing goes, right there. So it's going to go right here. You're going to have a little plastic bushing that's right there. And then this is going to go in there. And then it's going to take a little bit of fishing around to get it on that planetary. Now this one is going to go up here. Once you get it, it'll come down flush with this. And you're going to take your smaller one. You have a bushing right there also. It has a top piece right here. Oh, see now that's already on. You can tell it's pretty close in there with the top splines of this centerpiece. Oh. Bushings there. And then there, that one's all the way on. You can tell again by how close the bottom drum is to this drum. After that, this right here goes into this one. But this one goes into the case first. Of course, with the planetaries behind it. So now we get to start on this part. I never got to the pressure washer to clean this thing off. figure out a way to pick that thing up out of there. Grab my gloves. Oh, what do I do with them? Oh. Ooh, she's heavy.
A lot of stuff in there.
Huh?
A lot of stuff in there.
Yes, there is. This is a lot of the weight of the transmission. Oh, that's a rip. Anyway, you'll see how to put that together. We'll get that put back together before we put it inside the transmission.
That's not gonna work.
I'm gonna take this planetary, pushing first. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work with one person. We're gonna try it though.
Here.
I'm in a little bit of a predicament now, but you would lower that in there, and it would just sit in the bottom. It doesn't have to spline in anything. It's just an output shaft. We're gonna come back once we get that put in. So it's been a couple days.
You got that in there?
Yeah, this just takes a little bit of persuading. It has to go in perfectly straight, or it will get jammed up. So
Got a big mess.
If it goes in a little, it seems like it gets caught, pull it back out and see if you can't line it up again. There's a couple bearings in there. Once you get it all the way in, if it doesn't seem like it wants to lock in, take this piece, and you can stick it all the way through the middle and lock into some splines, and then turn this drum back here. See it? And that'll let you lock in the gear that goes into this.
Big mess.
Yeah, we'll clean that up later. This is the next piece. The easiest way that I can figure out how to do it is to go ahead and put all of this together.
Let me show them the end of that. That snap ring's really fun.
Oh, it's really fun. Let me make sure that that bushing bearing is off of there. Where'd it go? It's here somewhere. We'll find it. Oh, it's right here. So, to put this together, like I said, the easiest way I can figure how to do it is to put it all together and then slide it into the transmission. Because otherwise, if you put it together in the transmission, you're going to be fighting clutches the whole way. At least this way, you could put the clutches together inside their splines outside the transmission. And if it comes down to this isn't the easiest way, then I'll take it all back apart and we'll do it the other way. So first you put that planetary in there.
It'll lock in.
Yep, it goes on the splines. Then you're going to put this in there. This will actually, it almost looks like a sun shell. Not a sun shell. Sun gear out of a 4060. This will go into here once you get everything put together. So there's no bearing that goes on the front of it. So you just slide it in. And then the bearing goes on the back of it. Oh. I put it over my hole. Then you're going to grab this. There's a little plastic bushing. You need to take that out and put it in there. Otherwise you're going to have trouble lining that up. Then this. you have a little bearing right here. You want to make sure that's in there. And you're gonna go with the smaller one. The smaller one around is what I'm talking about. And then you want to go with the bigger one. As you're doing this, you're going to want to make sure you have all your bearings on. See, like this one? Yeah, I'm missing this bearing. There should be a bearing in between everything you put on.
Is that as far as that goes on?
Yeah. Then your last one. Make sure it has the bearing. It's right here. That's as far as that one goes on. Now this piece, you're going to want to put on this. And then take your transmission out, set it down like this. You're going to want to be able to see in here. Maybe use a screwdriver. You're going to want to hold this up as you're guiding it in.
That sounds difficult.
Something like this. At least this way, you line up these 3 splines, and then you line up this set of clutches, and that's it. If you put it in the other way, you'd have to line up, I don't even know. Splines, clutches, 2 sets of clutches, and then the sun gear splines, or the planetary splines.
Pretty heavy when you get it all together.
Yep, she's heavy. No, she's almost in. I'm just gonna turn this a little bit. I may have to go in from the other direction, or work backwards. She's hot. It's hot in here.
She's hot.
Yeah.
This transmission hasn't done anything in a while.
No. It's hot in here. I think we're going to have to go in from the other direction, or work backwards, I mean. So we're going to go with the bigger one first. See if you can see in there. This fits in there pretty tight. Everything in there is lined up, so this spot right here is flared a little bit. It's going to slide into a bushing, so you might have a little bit of trouble getting it in there. What would really help before you start doing this is line all your clutches up. Help just a little bit, don't hit it too hard. And it still needs to go in a little bit. If you look right in here, you can see the clutch plates and the actual clutches. See how only 2 of them are actually spinning? See if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to keep going until all of them spin. Yeah, there's no way I could have got that, put it all in all at once.
There's a bunch more spinning now.
Yep, that's all of them.
Is that all of them?
Yeah. Yep. Now your next one. Make sure you got the bearing.
Bearing goes in first.
Yes.
That one's easy.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have to spine in any clutches yet. And then you got this one. Bearings on there.
That one in that easy?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a bearing between every one of these.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh, bearing. Planetary. Gear. Go ahead and take a look down in there. It's pretty much what she's going to look like. If you see in here, this set of, or these splines right here is going to go into a set of clutches. And then these are going to go into a set of clutches. These are actually holding clutches on the opposite side of this planetary. This further one out is going to go into this set. The second one is going to go into this set. and then that planetary splines is going to spline onto here. So
Yeah, try that.
while you're doing this, you're going to be fishing 3 sets. You're going to be fishing 2 sets of clutches together and some splines together.
Trying to line them up already.
Yeah, it's not going to help it, but might as well try. And remember, there's no bearing on this one because it'll actually keep the planetary spine, that middle gear. The pump will keep it off this.
Well, let's see it in action.
This may be one of those times we have to come back.
Yeah. It'll be a little difficult.
I mean, my gloves, I can't grip it.
Fancy. It's actually going.
Yep. Let's move this transmission off the middle of the table.
You don't like that spring action table?
No. No. Doesn't look like we have the splines lined up yet. It's really close though. If y'all know an easier way to do this part, post it down in the comments. Let me know next time I have to do one of these. Probably take me a few to get the hang of it anyway. So we got this one in. If you look in here, you can see about where it ends. You know about how far it needs to go.
So almost to the end of that window.
A good way to check is to hold this drum and pull this out.
So I guess there's gonna be a little bit of slack.
Just a little bit.
I
not
mean,
very
a
much.
millimeter tops.
1/8 inch probably. But now we're going to try to get this in there. There's only really one way to do this. Just put it in.
Is that it?
Should be it.
It never met right here. Never met right there.
I know. We're going to put 2 bolts in there just to hold it. We're not going to tighten it down with these bolts, so don't get that idea. You're going to put them on the ones that have the dowel pins. Looks like there's only one really. Well, I said that drum was all the way in, but I don't think it is now. That's where it should be out here. And it's not all the way in. Means this drum isn't all the way in. Because if you can see right here, this drum is actually, looks like it's almost touching.
So then, a little bit past the window?
A little bit past it, maybe right at it.
So, you want me to stop this until you get that all the way in there?
Yeah, we can. So where we left off, we was putting the pump in. We had a little bit of a gap there. We took it back apart a couple times to make sure that it wasn't hitting on anything down here. If you check, you can stick a knife in here. I mean, there's plenty of clearance in between the drum and the pump. Right here is where you're going to want that drum to be. It's going to be a little bit below that lip. If you have it sitting up like this, there won't be any in clearance. Like, you won't be able to pick that shaft up at all without picking that drum up. And that's how you know it's all the way in. Then you put the pump down on there. You put 2 of the bolts in just to hold it in place. And then I just tapped it with a hammer a couple times, and that got the, very softly.
Tapped, don't go whooping your transmission.
Don't whoop your pump. I just tapped it a little bit and then pushed that O-ring down past that seal, and then I just tightened the bolts down.
Yeah, because there was a little gap here. And it's the O-ring, and you'll push down on it with your hands, and you'll think, oh, that's not the O-ring, it's not going down. It won't go down. That O-ring's not a joke.
It's definitely not a joke. We put a new seal in here. We're going to pick it back up on the table, and we're going to get the valve body back in, put the pan back on, and then we'll be ready to throw it back in the truck.
There it is.
All I did was just make sure all the seals were in place, set it up in there, start all the bolt holes.
Yeah, about 1 second. That's what it takes.
And you're not going to want to tighten this down with an impact. I'm just running it up. I'm sure there's a torque spec on this, by the way. I don't know what it is.
Not that. Not what you just did. Not that either.
See, now you get to witness the surgical hands of Mega Performance. Let's see, where's the middle one? Right there.
And then what is that torque to now?
About right. That's torque to about right, fellas and ladies. If any ladies are watching.
What are you putting in over there?
Oh, I guess I should show you this. Remember the plug? We did this before. Taking it out. There's just a notch in there. You make sure you line that notch up. And then it literally just pops in.
Is that all the way in?
Yep. If this goes down, it's all the way in. It won't go down until it's in its spot. Now, we put the paint on and the paint is done.
I'm probably not going to show that. If they can't put the pan on, then there's a problem.
Yeah. We'll come back. We're gonna change out this bottom seal. It's just from sitting on the ground and stuff. It needs to be changed out. We'll get the pan on. We'll get it in the truck.